Hello and welcome to Plus Pramesh e-Library. So here we are making a very short video for you to understand the entire history and geography of POK. Now what is POK? It is called Pakistan Occupied Kashmir. But why are we bringing you this short video? This is because it was in news recently. You must have heard that China is helping Pakistan to build a dam on Indus River in this Gilgit-Baltistan region. Now this Gilgit-Baltistan region is a part of POK. Secondly, you must have heard that Pakistan ordered to announce elections to basically conduct elections in this particular region. And what did India do? India actually obviously resisted it. Then what after this India did? India started announcing the weather forecast of this particular region. And what did Pakistan do? Obviously Pakistan was not happy about it. So having made you understand the importance of this region, that why it was in news recently, why are we learning about this, we are going to take the entire history and geography of POK, and after this you will definitely have no confusion regarding this POK as a region. So before we start, this is me, Supriya Singhal, presenting to you this particular video. You can follow me on my Instagram blog by the name of Crispy Stories. So before we start the history of POK, we first need to understand that what is this POK region. So for this we will actually look at the map of Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, so Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of India. Now if we look at the Jammu and Kashmir pre-August 2019 and post-August 2019, then the map has changed. And why is it so? Because the government has actually passed a Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act, according to which now the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir has been bifurcated into two separate union territories. One is Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir and other is Union Territory of Ladakh. So now let us just restrict our conversation to the pre-August 2019 situation, which was when Jammu Kashmir was a state present in India. So now see, if you can see the map of Kashmir and Jammu and Kashmir, you must realize that it has actually 3 to 4 regions majorly. One is this, on the northeastern side you can see something called as the Aksai Chin region and a line known as the line of actual control. Then if you go towards the northwestern side, you will find something called as the Gilgit-Baltistan region and a line called as the LOC. Now if you just move little upward towards it, you will also find two names written. One is this Shakshagam Valley and other is this Siachen Glacier. So both of these territories you can find upwards if you look between Aksai Chin and between the Gilgit-Baltistan region. Now let's move towards the southern areas. So in the southern areas, which is the core area of Jammu and Kashmir, you will find the names written as Ladakh, Kashmir and Jammu. And just on the western side of Jammu, you will also see a small territory called as the Azad Kashmir. Okay, so now you can see that this one state, or now if we call it two different union territories of India, they have so much complexity. And why is it so? Because they are present on the international boundary. Now we will take up the course regarding the LAC in the next class if you guys recommend it. But for now, let's focus our attention into this line called as the LOC. Now, if you all know that India and Pakistan were erstwhile one nation. Okay, they were a part of British India. But then what happened? What happened was the partition, which took place in 1947. Because of the partition, Sir Radcliffe drew a line to actually to divide India and Pakistan into two separate nations. So thus we will see that India and Pakistan have a long boundary of roughly around 3300 kilometers, which is divided into three sections. One is the international boundary, which goes from Gujarat to Jammu. Then there is a working boundary of a very small length around 192 kilometers, which is present between Azad Kashmir and Jammu. And then there is a third boundary called as the LOC. or line of control which is around 772 kilometers present between Kashmir and the Gilgit-Baltistan region. So now this whole area of Gilgit-Baltistan region along with the Azad Kashmir, they together are known as the Pakistan occupied Kashmir or Pakistan administered Kashmir or Pakistan or what? Pakistan controlled Kashmir. Okay, so whenever you hear any of these three words, it actually means the same, which means basically two territories, Gilgit-Baltistan region and also the Azad Kashmir region. So now having understood A, the length of the LOC, B, the number of areas in Pakistan occupied Kashmir, now we will actually go towards understanding the history of this entire region. See, history of POK, which I already told you is Pakistan occupied Kashmir, goes to the time of partition. Because of the partition, there were conditions which were actually created between these two countries, due to which there were conflicts and wars, and you will realize that POK came about through these wars. Okay, see, if we generally say, then India and Pakistan have gone on war. If we remember, then it is 1947, then it is 1965, 1971 and 1999, and all these wars have actually defined this POK region. So now we will take one by one these wars, understand the history, and also understand that how is this region actually evolving with time. So first is the story of partition. So when India and Pakistan got partition in 1947, we know that there were a lot of princely states in India, and these princely states were given an option either to remain independent, to join Pakistan, or to join India. So Jammu and Kashmir, because of its geography, because of its presence as international boundary which is connected to Afghanistan via Wakhan corridor, which is connected to Pakistan's Punjab and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, and which is also connected to China's Xinjiang province. So basically it was very important if we look at it at international relations point of view. So with this unique geography and also with a very unique cultural composition, because Jammu and Kashmir had both Hindu as well as Muslim population as well as Sikh and Buddhist population. So Raja Hari Singh Dogra, who was actually the ruler that time of this region, Jammu and Kashmir state, he decided to remain independent. That is, he decided that he is not going to join India or he is not going to join Pakistan. But what happened was that Pakistan soon sent its Pashtun tribes, and there was a tribal invasion on Kashmir. Now, what was basically in problem was Kashmir security, and that's when Raja Hari Singh decided to basically sign instrument of accession with India. Okay, so that India can provide it with a military support, and we can actually push back the Pakistani forces that have entered, or the tribal forces that have entered this region. But what happened was that after this tribal invasion, India and Pakistan could not actually establish a ceasefire, and that is when United Nations Security Council's resolution 47 came in, okay, through which a ceasefire was established, okay, where it was decided that no more these two forces, Indian and Pakistan forces, are going to attack each other. They are not going to be attacking each other, and they will be basically going to a position as which will be defined as a ceasefire line. And you will find out that after two consecutive wars, this ceasefire line will only become your something called as LOC. So right now, till this line becomes LOC, we will call it as a ceasefire line. And this was then finalized via the Karachi Agreement that took place in 1949. So what happened after this war? So this is the first war that is happening between India and Pakistan, which is happening in 1947. After this, two things have happened. A, that Kashmir has signed instrument of accession with India, and now under Article 370 and certain special provisions, Kashmir has become the integral part of India. And secondly, Pakistan, because of the tribal invasion, has occupied a 1/3 area of this Jammu and Kashmir region, which will later on become the Gilgit-Baltistan and the Azad Kashmir region. So as you can see, this northwestern area is around 1/3 area, and this eastern area is around 2/3 area which is with India. Okay, but you must be wondering what is this Aksai Chin then? So Aksai Chin will be taken in the next lecture when we discuss about India and China, because that is a India and China story. But for now, we are only concentrating with India and Pakistan. So for now, after 1947 war, what is the position? That of the Jammu and Kashmir's total area, 2/3 area of Jammu and Kashmir is with India. 1/3 area of Jammu and Kashmir, what is called as the Pakistan occupied Kashmir, is with Pakistan. Okay, so this is the first story of establishment of POK. Now comes the war of 1965. So why did this war happen? This war happened because of the Pakistan launching Operation Gibraltar, through which it wanted to increase the insurgency in this Kashmir region and ultimately wanting to establish a control on the remaining areas of Kashmir. But obviously, because of the 17 days war and India's military capabilities, Pakistan was not able to succeed in its intentions. And what happened was a full-blown war between India and Pakistan. After this war, basically what happened was the Tashkent Agreement. Okay, now where is this Tashkent? That you are going to tell me in the comment box below, because Tashkent is the capital city of one of these Central Asian countries. Okay, so in Tashkent, there was a Tashkent Agreement signed between India and Pakistan, through which there were few conditions decided. One was that these two countries are going back towards their pre-war stand. That is, the ceasefire line that was established after the 1947 war is going to remain, and these two countries are going to obey their positions and move backwards from the ceasefire line. Secondly, these two countries are going to actively start maintaining bilateral relations, improve them, and also consider establishing economic and diplomatic relations amongst them. Okay. Thirdly, it was decided that prisoners of war of both the countries will be exchanged. And fourthly, it was decided that they will try to actually minimize conflicts and work towards establishing peace. So, if we say the major clause what came was basically this POK region and the ceasefire line, because the ceasefire line that got established in 1947 is going to remain same as it is in 1965 war and the Tashkent Declaration. But now, after this comes the 1971 war, through which basically what happened? It was the establishment of Bangladesh as an independent nation, which was earlier part of Pakistan and was called as the East Pakistan. Okay, so till now, when we are referring to Pakistan, till now means till 1971, till the war has happened, you will find out that Pakistan is not just one territory. It has two territories. One is the Western Pakistan region and one is the Eastern Pakistan region. So Eastern Pakistan region after 1971 war came to be known as Bangladesh, and it became an independent country. Now what happened in this 1971 war? So 1971 war was majorly a war between West and East Pakistan, but obviously India being sandwiched between these two parts of the same country, and also Pakistan trying to basically not even follow the basic human rights, India, and it attacking first on India had to intervene in the war. And what happened finally was that India emerged victorious in this war, and what eventually was signed was the Shimla Agreement in 1972. Now what happened in the Shimla Agreement is of real significance to us, because till now the line that we were calling as a ceasefire line was now called as the line of control. What is it? LOC. So if you have ever heard this word LOC, it actually means line of control, and this line of control is roughly around 772 kilometers. It is basically demarcating Pakistan occupied Kashmir and the Indian Kashmir region. Now this LOC has been established, but what is the problem is that LOC is running from the uppermost part of the Jammu's working boundary and going towards this point called as NJ9842. Now this point is basically the foothill of the Siachen Glacier. Now glacier, it was assumed that it is a very uninhabitable territory. So, and it's a very rough terrain. So, both of these forces will definitely not occupy the Siachen Glacier, and hence the territory or the ceasefire line or the LOC was marked till the point NJ9842. But as you can see, then again a conflict happened which took place in 1984. Okay, and this was because of this Siachen Glacier's unmarked territory. So India, see, this NJ9842, if the point you can see, it is right here, and then there is a triangle formed because that is the Siachen Glacier. So India was saying that this triangle is the part of India. Why? Because if you construct a line, then this is the Indian territory. But Pakistan said that they are going to take the lower territory, and the upper triangle basically lies in the Pakistan occupied Kashmir region. And this triangle, this little triangle, this glacier became the point of contention between. So this triangle became the bone of contention between the two countries, and that's when basically came the Siachen conflict of 1984. So in 1984, India launched Operation Meghdut to actually have a control over this triangular Siachen Glacier and also the ridges in and around it. So if you have heard the word Saltaro Ridge or Saltoro Ridge, that is basically the part of Indian territory now. So Operation Meghdut is done. Now Siachen Glacier, which Pakistan was contesting that it is under it, okay, that has been resolved by 1984, India launching a war on, or you can say India conducting an operation in this particular region and occupying this high lying altitude or high altitude position. Now basically what you can see is this Pakistan occupied Kashmir consisting of Gilgit-Baltistan and Azad Kashmir region with LOC as the demarcation line and the Siachen Glacier becoming the part of India. This all has happened till 1984. Then comes the next war between India and Pakistan, which was happening in 1999, and that was the famous LOC war or LOC Kargil, for which the movie was also there, right? So who all performed in that movie? Do you remember the actors and actresses? So I know it was a very popular movie, and everybody, at least those 90 kids, must have watched this movie. So what happened in this LOC Kargil war was that Pakistan's troops, they actually entered into Indian territory and they occupied few areas in the Kargil district. And why does this Kargil district actually matters to India? A, because it's a part of Indian territory, and secondly, Kargil is a high-lying position. So it can actually control the road that connects Ladakh to the Kashmir region, which is the only connecting point. So if Pakistan occupies a high position in this particular region, they can actually control the connectivity of Kashmir to other regions. And that is why India actually went on a full-blown war with Pakistan in this 1999 Kargil. And after this, obviously India became victorious, and then again it was decided that we will go back to the LOC line. Okay, so Pakistan on the west of LOC line, India on the east of LOC line. So what has actually happened in so much of history that we have seen is that Pakistan occupied Kashmir is a region that has two regions within, Gilgit-Baltistan and Azad Kashmir. They separated via LOC line, which was earlier called as the ceasefire line, became a LOC line in 1972, and then subsequent wars happened to decide the territory, to decide actually and to capture the areas here and there, but nothing has happened so far. Now what is happening now, and why is it in news, and why are we discussing it? Because this region has actually gained lot of importance. A is that Pakistan actually captured these regions, but it never included them in their constitution. So if you look at the map of Pakistan, you will realize it has 4 provinces. One is the Balochistan region, where lies the Gwadar port. Then second is the Punjab region. Then third is the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa region, and fourth region is something that you are going to tell me. Okay, so you must see that there is no mention of Gilgit-Baltistan or Azad Kashmir region as such in Pakistan. But Pakistan in 1974 declared them as semi-autonomous. Basically, it gave them an autonomous status, and it wanted to call it as a 5th province but could not call it. but let us say that it wants to have these territories in its particular in its country. Now, after this, what Pakistan did was that it announced that it is going to conduct elections in this Gilgit-Baltistan region. But before that, we should actually know that Pakistan has actually announced a post of CM and governor in this Gilgit-Baltistan region, and there is a proper president, prime minister, and a council in Azad Kashmir region. Okay, but the point is that these both post, okay, and councils, they are not working independently. For everything they are dependent on the Pakistan. So hence came the conflict. Okay, then Pakistan also announced that it is going to provide citizenship, basically status, to the people living in these areas. And then to basically, it is like Pakistan doing one thing, second thing, third thing, fourth thing, and that is when basically India started to act. So Pakistan first made them semi-autonomous provinces, then it started to provide them citizenship, then it basically said that you will have a particular PM, CM, governor, council, and that is why basically to give them more autonomy, but also not to really give them autonomy and make them dependent on Pakistan for everything. Then what Pakistan did next was basically participate in something called as the CPEC, which is called as China Pakistan Economic Corridor. And this CPEC was a part of OBOR, which is One Belt, One Road initiative, which is basically China's initiative, okay, to connect majorly China via basically the sea as well as the land routes to all the regions of Europe, Africa, Asia, etc., and have a major connectivity around the world. Now this if we say that OBOR is around a $1 trillion project, then CPEC is one of the major infrastructure projects which is going to join the Xinjiang province of China to basically the Gwadar port of Pakistan, which lies in the Arabian Sea region. And this CPEC also passes through the Gilgit-Baltistan region. This CPEC is actually a major infrastructure project which is going to cost, or which costed China around $50 billion. So half of the OBOR cost went just in CPEC. Why? Because it was a major construction done to connect two regions, okay, from two different countries. One is Xinjiang province of China, another is the Gwadar port of Pakistan, which lies in the Balochistan region. So now if you see CPEC, you will realize that it is passing through this Gilgit-Baltistan region. Okay, and obviously Gilgit-Baltistan region is what India calls as Pakistan occupied Kashmir. That is, we are saying it's an integral part of India, but Pakistan has illegally occupied it. So obviously India first of all did not join OBOR or CPEC. It did not endorse CPEC, and it also raised its voice against CPEC, saying it is illegal because you cannot actually construct a road, construct something through someone else's territory. Okay, but this was not enough, because then came the Supreme Court of Pakistan's judgment, who said what? Who basically tried to extend its territorial power of jurisdiction, or territorial jurisdiction as we call of the court, in this Gilgit-Baltistan and Azad Kashmir region as well. That is, till now, Supreme Court of Pakistan was not basically taking into its territorial consideration these two regions, but now it said that it was going to have basically to listen to cases and also conduct the court proceedings in this particular region also. So obviously India was going to resist. And then on top of it came the latest news. What was the latest news? That Pakistan is taking the help of China to build a major dam on Indus River, or let us say Galwan River, which is basically a tributary of Indus River in this particular region, and building what? Building Diamer Bhasha Dam. Okay, so it is building a major dam, and it is again in this which region? It is in the Gilgit-Baltistan region. But now you must be wondering, what is India doing about it? Because as we say, it is still called as the Pakistan administered Kashmir, Pakistan controlled Kashmir, but this is what we call in international forums. What does India call it? India calls it Pakistan occupied Kashmir. So Pakistan, in this particular region of POK, India has first of all nullified all whatever Pakistan is trying to do here, okay, providing them citizenship or even Supreme Court extending its jurisdiction, India has always resisted it diplomatically and also in the international forums. Secondly, India did was in 2019 August, it actually passed the reorganization bill of Jammu Kashmir, okay, which became an act subsequently, through which India basically divided this entire state of Jammu Kashmir now into two union territories. Okay, one was the union territory of Jammu Kashmir, as I told previously, and second was this union territory of Ladakh. Now, what will happen because of this union territory? Why actually India went from a statehood status to union territory status? It is because India realized that this particular LOC or this particular controversy with Pakistan has been basically going for long, and this has created an insurgent situation in the Jammu Kashmir region, wherein we see continuous infiltration of terrorists from across the borders. Secondly, we are seeing underdevelopment in the region, and thirdly, state is always in a turmoil state. Okay, there is no stability, there is always incursions happening, and there is always a trust deficit that has been developed. So to counter all of this, in interest of national security, India actually provided it with the union territory status. Okay, so now if you see, then this POK will be actually a part of union territory of Jammu and Kashmir, but for now let us call it POK, union territory of Jammu Kashmir and union territory of Ladakh, okay, for simplicity. And then what did India do was that India actually it started giving weather forecast via IMD, which is Indian Meteorological Department of this particular region of Gilgit-Baltistan region and also the Azad Kashmir region. Why will India do that? It is just to raise a voice, because if you start giving the weather forecast of a particular region, that means you are challenging and saying that this region belongs to us. So it's a very smart tactic of telling somebody that you don't mess with us, otherwise we'll mess with you. Okay, so this was a very, very brief and short history and geographical component about the POK, which is the Pakistan occupied Kashmir region. And if you want to get such shorter videos for any of the other conflicts that India is having, specifically for example India and Nepal or India and China, then do let us know in the comment box below. We'll definitely make a video and come back with a very, very amazing short basically remembering tricks also, so that you never forget the particular history. Thank you.